I wanted to measure your success as an employee, what matters most. Welcome to this week's live. Now, last year we made a lot of content, but this year we're going live every single week.
We go live every single week?
Yeah, dude, that's what we need to do to dominate this industry. Guys, follow us on every social platform, subscribe on YouTube. Now let's get into this week's episode and head into the studio. What's up, guys? I'm Kyle Milan, and it's Tuesday, so you know what that means. That means that it is time to jump into some content creation. It's noon. Hopefully, you guys are eating lunch, driving in the car when you're listening to this on replay or live, coming in from LinkedIn, YouTube, and all of the other locations. Today, I don't even know what we're talking about. What I know is this. I did not bring my computer or my iPad, and I'm supposed to get some questions about strategies, and I'm supposed to create strategies on the fly. That's pretty much what I know. So without further ado, if you guys aren't following me on YouTube yet, head over to YouTube, subscribe. We got over 2,000 videos over there, over 1 million views total so far, continuing to pump out content. We got the blue background today, so looking pretty fresh. Laura's very impressed with it. So let's jump into the question. We got Laura behind the mic. Producer Laura is here in the flesh to jump through these questions, and hopefully I'm not set up for failure, but I'm sure I can figure it out.
Okay, scenario number one. We want to sell our products online, but our page was built by my nephew in the early 2000s. How do I fix it?
This is so not a real question. Okay, so if anybody actually did have it, let's not say 2000, let's say like in the last 15 years. Number one, you got to get a new platform. That's first and foremost. And I feel like most of the time people don't understand the power of the platform that you're using for your web. We just did a quote, I think it was yesterday, for a potential customer, and they're on a .NET, which you're talking hard code, you're talking old school 2006 style, wanting to move them into WordPress, a CMS system, rebuild their entire site. But you got to start there. You got to start with the hindrance behind your revenue generation, your marketing could be the site where you're sending all the traffic to. We have a current client, gets a lot of traffic. We're talking a few 100,000 views or sessions a year from a few 100,000 people. And it's like, hey, it's about time. It's been 5 years. It's time to redo that site. You have to start with redoing the site. What I would do, depending on what the product is that you're selling, I would go on WordPress with WooCommerce. Not a personal huge fan of Shopify. It's a good system, but I'm not there yet with it. I don't think that it's overtaken anything. So even if you look up like top e-com platforms for web development, you've got Shopify, you've got WooCommerce, and you've got a couple others, even like Wix is on the list. But you got to start with, what did you create your system on? If you're going to be selling stuff, it's got to be WordPress with WooCommerce or Shopify. But if you want ease of use and if you want power behind expansion of that, personally, I would go WordPress with WooCommerce. Was that basically the question?
Yep.
All right. That's the strategy. Build a new website. It's going to cost you 25 G's to 65 G's, depending on how many SKUs you have.
The next question. We have a new product we're launching, and we want to do a press release. Do you think it's worth it?
I mean, it depends on how many people are actually following your brand. If you've got a ton of followers, sure, you could do a press release, but for the most part, it's like, unless you're putting it in front of the right audience, who's going to actually see that press release? We get asked that question at times, like, hey, should we do a press release and send it to PR Newswire and push it out there to all the places? Like, yeah, that might get you on Google News as far as a search result, but is it actually going to do anything for your brand? Probably not. What I would do, new product, new service, anything like that, I would slowly drip it out to get the anticipation and the build up there. So create some sort of landing page. If it is a good product, you want to have some sort of sign up, notify me once this product is available or back in stock or anything like that. But you want to have a landing page with some sort of sign up form so you can capture those potential customers. And then once you do push it live, you want to just blast it out on all of the social platforms. But ideally, you kind of lead up to it to where you're starting to tease, hey, this is coming this summer, June 17th, it's dropping, June 16th. This is coming, ready to ship, jump in line, sign up to this list, et cetera, et cetera. But press releases, I feel like that's people think that if you create a press release, then you're just going to blow up on the internet, but it typically doesn't happen.
Next question. I'm a chiropractor that needs to get first-time clients to come back. Where do I start?
Oh, chiropractor with first-time clients come back. This is something that we've dealt with. So the first thing is that when regardless of what service you're doing, in this case, a chiropractor, you got to start with how are you getting the attention behind those people. And so what a lot of times these private practices will do is they will do some sort of like free something or reduced price to come into the office. But you got to understand, like, if you're dangling that in front of people, it's almost like when you have a sale. Like, sales get people that are looking for sales. If you're going to try and then upsell them, it's typically not going to happen. So you got to start with the quality of the traffic and the brand and not the brand, but the content that you're pushing out to entice them. So the advertising collateral behind it, like how are you getting them into your pipeline or into your funnel? And if you're starting with like super low price, then you're going to get people that are shopping for that. And if that's your fit, great. But knowing the professional services space and the medical space, they get them in and then they put them on a program and then they don't necessarily upcharge them, but then they get them onto a higher, more consistent type of I don't know, not system, but it's more like it really is like a program. We're like, hey, you come in. It's just like with personal trainers in the fitness industry, right? So if you're like, hey, reduce for one time, you can get an assessment for $39.99, and then from there, it's $100 a month for that personal trainer, or $200 a month. So you're getting them in at a reduced price. Understand that's their mindset, is they're used to seeing that dollar amount. So wherever you advertise that, make sure that you're going after the right people first to convert them to a to a higher paying client or somebody that's going to stick around and convert into a customer. That's just basic sales, where you have to say, identify a problem, provide a solution, do the value proposition behind it, et cetera, and then it all comes down to the follow-up. So if you come in to my company and I entice you with some sort of ad or some sort of sale, then from here it's like, all right, I need to identify the problem and understand how big of a problem is it for that person. If it's like, oh yeah, it's not that big of a problem, well, I know I'm not going to convert you. So you have to first identify the problem through your various methods of whatever it is that you're doing, and then say, hey, I could fix this problem for you. It's going to cost you this much money, but we will get it done. So you put in some sort of guarantee. You can see my Google reviews, that's social proof. So you can build that trust and say, yes, I want, push them to saying yes, that I want to sign up for a program with you. But from there, when they don't, and this is where the rubber meets the road, when they don't, which most people aren't going to come and be like, yes, I did the free thing or I did the reduced thing, I want to now pay you more money to do this, you have to follow up, because most people aren't going to convert at that point. So it's like that first touch, first introduction, they come in to whatever it is that you're doing. Does not matter if you are a professional services office or if you are a B2B business. You get that first client and you get them like a foot in the door type of offer, because that's basically what it is. Then from there, it's up to you to increase the revenue that they're spending with you based on building that trust, providing a good service, providing a good product, whatever it is. And then you can start to upsell them. But if they're not sold, you have to follow up. You have to put them in some sort of campaign, whether it is through something like HubSpot or Salesforce or Klaviyo or anything like that, any sort of system where you're going to say like, hey, they didn't convert. Within a week, I want to send a text message or I want to send an email, and I want to drip it out over that period of time. Let's say it's like 6 months, 9 months. Maybe you, after a certain period, like 6 months, you hit them with another offer. Hey, come back and we'll reduce it by 25%. We're having a sale, etc. But that's really what you have to focus on is the quality of the traffic that's coming in. How are you going to convert them? When they don't convert, what are you going to do? If you just leave them, that's going to be just a wasted acquisition cost that you spent to get them in the door. You're just wasting money at that point.
All right. Question number 4. Scenario number 4.
Scenario number 4.
We're exhibiting at an event this summer. How can I get the most impact?
Most impact for an event, number 1, you want to geofence that event. If you don't know what geofencing is, just reach out to us and we'll do it for you. But you want to basically put a virtual bubble around it as people come in. If you're going after the attendees of the event, as people come in, you get the IP on their phone. It's not the IP, but you get the code device ID on their phone. And then from there, you can retarget them for, I think it's up to 45 days currently. But you want to start with at least putting some sort of geofencing in. You want to promote it. You want to go after the audience that's going to be there. You want to hit them with some pre-event advertising. Once they're there, you want to be out and lively and be able to capture their information, depending on what it is that you're selling. But it's all about the planning up front, which should be like 6 months before the event. Start understanding who's going to be there. Can I get their contact information ahead of time? Can I let them know that I'm going to be there? Can I get them confirmed that they want to come and see me? Then once the event happens, you want to geofence it. You want to be out there talking to as many people as possible. Then the post-event is going to be where a lot of the magic happens. People that either did stop by and you want to follow up with, or people that didn't stop by, you want to continue to market them for 1, 2, 3 months after the fact. If they stopped by, got your information, you just haven't sold them or connected, then you want to put them into like a 6-month, 9-month, 12-month nurture campaign, because they're going to be talking to other people at this event. They then are going to get a ton of emails initially in the first 1 to 2 weeks, and then the rest of the companies will die off. They're not going to continue to follow up with them because they're going to say this isn't the lowest hanging fruit. So that's where you come in and you continue to be persistent and consistent and follow up with them for 6, 9, 12 months. And then maybe that's an annual event or a every 2-year event. And if that's the case, and you have a high likelihood that they'll probably come back next year, so then you can use them again for pre-show marketing for the next event that you're having.
All right, the last scenario that I have for you. I want to be at the top of mind to my existing customers and get referrals from them. How do I do that?
Oh, top of mind. So the thing with referrals is you just have to ask. And that's what people typically don't do, is that they expect their customer to be like, hey, we like you so much. Here's somebody that you could also go after. If you go down the path, and I learned this from Grant Cardone and people like that, is like, hey, you want me to be successful, right? And the customer would be like, yeah, of course I do, which we could all agree on. So I know you want me to be successful. Who are 3 people that you know that I can call today and potentially pitch these services to them? And people are gonna pop to mind instantly, and then just be like, hey, who did you initially think of? Let me get their information, because you like what I do for you and I want to do it for other people. If they really are a partner and they really do value the relationship you have, then they will give you a referral. But you have to ask for it. Number 1, you have to produce good results, good work, have a good product that's going to do whatever it is that it says it's going to do. Then from there you say, hey, we've been doing good stuff for you. Do you know anybody else that can use our services? Can you give me 3 people? Ask them for that. Then put them into a different type of campaign. Tag them in your CRM system as this is a referral lead, not a referral as an opportunity, but just a referral lead, which means it came from a current customer, somebody that you know. But ask them for it, and then say, hey, I got your name from Steve, and Steve loves what we're doing for him and said that you might be interested too. Are you open to a quick 10, 20-minute conversation to talk about X, Y, and Z problem? That's really the best way to do it. Too often companies rely on referrals to fuel their business in top of funnel. It's certainly a tool that you can use, but you don't want to rely on it. You want to rely on outbound and inbound combined, and the inbound piece is not strictly on referrals. You want to have campaigns and ads and all this stuff running, so you're bringing new people into the top of the funnel. So referrals is a piece of it. Don't rely too heavily on it, but that's essentially like the closest thing that you can get when you have a testimonial from someone that knows someone. They say this company or this person does good work. That's going to be the fastest way to build that trust, which you have to have before you can close them. And the easiest intro is like, hey, I do this for this person now. Are you open to it too? That's typically going to be a lot easier conversation to have. So that's it for the scenarios. All right, guys, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back and answer any questions to see if we have any questions. If not, I got something big to push live today. Here's a little teaser about it, and we'll see you on the flip side of this commercial break. MFG Tribe isn't just for industrial anymore. We're bringing our team to help businesses of all kinds. Are you looking to grow your brand? Let's get to work. All right, guys, you saw that. That was the release. That's what I've been working on for the last 6 months or so. We got 2 brands. We've got MFG Tribe on the industrial side, 95% of my focus. And then we've got Mylan Media, AKA M2. That is a brand that I've had for about 4 years. Don't really publicize it. It's just been something where as companies come that we believe in or people that we know that have a business and they want us to help them with their marketing, I created this company 4 years ago. And now it is time with the fact that all of our industrial companies, we only work with one person per vertical. If you sell machinery in a certain spot, you're our only customer. If you do machining services, you're our only customer in that vertical. So what that does is that limits my ability to grow and scale to the growth potential that we have and the taste or the appetite that I have for growth. That limits us because we pass off opportunities all the time. So I said at the end of our annual planning meeting, you know what, it's about time. And so for the last about 90 days or so, I've been working not exclusively, but pretty tirelessly on the relaunch of that brand. It's going to be going live today. It was supposed to be yesterday, going into pre-April Fools, and this is not an April Fool's joke, but it's supposed to be live yesterday, but we ran into some issues with some last-minute tech problems, and so was just literally working on it, walked into this 3 minutes before we started filming. After I leave this live recording, I'm going back into mine and Christian's office for him and I to finish the rollout of this. So stay tuned for it. MFG Tribe brand is still going to be an industrial brand that's within the Mylan Media brand, but the website's changing, the collateral's changing, the logo, stuff like that. So you're still going to see MFG Tribe. I'm still going to come to you live 4 times a week. It is still a significant portion of our business, but M2 is coming, and everybody else better watch out.
4 times a month, not 4 times a week, right?
4 times a month. Did I say 4 times a week? Lara's like freaking out. 4 times a month going live. About to get some new content, some new look on some things. It's going to be fun. Do we have any comments before I go back into my web dungeon?
Yeah. Tim Drinkwater says, tips for doing a LinkedIn collaboration with another creator, different industries, but some overlap.
Yeah, so other creators, collaboration, you want to try and play off of their audience. Each of you promote it individually, mention who you're going to have on for this collaboration so that way they can get their audiences going, you can get yours going, and then once the event happens, make sure that everybody tries to participate and attend. As long as there's some sort of crossover where you can provide value to their audience, they can provide value to your audience, that's all you're really looking for. You don't want to just go into it and say, I want to jack their audience or go after it and like take them part of them. That's going to naturally happen as long as you're providing value. But that's the best way to do it is both of you promote about it. And if that name is recognized amongst your audience, then it should entice them to come to the event or to pay attention to the collaboration.
That's all I got right now.
All right, that's all Lara's got. So I'm going to take this opportunity. It's only 12:23. I'm going to take this opportunity to go back in the dungeon, almost done rolling out with this rebrand and launch, and you guys will see a bunch of new content coming through with this. It's something that the whole team's been working on for a while, and I'm excited to finally release it out there to the public. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on LinkedIn, and I will see you on the next one.